Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to another Devblog. My name is Mauricio. I thank you very much for the past feedback and answering the poll that I left from last week, and the information that I gathered was very useful. Now, on to the business at hand. First, thank you to the game maker language developing community in Twitter, Facebook, Discord, everywhere that I've been able to contact developers. They've been of great help clearing doubts in any issue that I've had, especially developing this. Unfortunately, today you're not going to see any flashy transformations or sword swinging or anything, but menu screens, because as much as we love developing the games and the combat and the things that we do, we have to do the file management and work and user interface and a lot of things that maybe a lot of people doesn't like as much. But still, that's a requirement. So I've developed this menu. It's not fully fleshed out yet. It may have some bugs, but for the purpose at hand of the demo that I'm trying to release, it'll have to do. So first, we have everything here with our sounds every time that we move. We have a top of 3 files that we can manage, which are these files. At the top left, you have the title of like the screen that we are, and we have the quit game option. So let's try first the very basic. If you press the active key, or the interact key in this case is left control, it asks if you really want to quit the game, because all of these erase options or quit option must be made with certainty in the player. So if I put the quit and it's clicked by accident by the player, we have to give him some room for error to the user. So if you want to quit the game, you hit no, it returns you to the menu. If you hit yes, it leaves the game for you. Now, let's run the game again and try the other options. First, let's hit any of the new files. Let's hit the new file. So we go to the screen where we have our virtual keyboard to start putting in the name that we want for our file. In this case, I've limited the name to 10 characters. It can be any letters. At this moment, I haven't put numbers. I can, but I haven't put them in the demo still. That might be for the future. I've put all the letters in English alphabet. I've put letters from A to Z in capital and A to Z in non-capitals. And I've put a few others, in this case, which are this no value, which is returning if you don't want to do anything, and I've also put these values, which this arrow represents the backspace that deletes a character that you put in, and the enter key value. Now, and obviously the blank space is for leaving spaces in your in the name that you want to input. Now, let's get into a few scenarios that I've considered for the player to do. What happens if a player wants to save the file without inputting a name? Just come here and click enter, and I have my nameless file. Wrong. Bad player. You have to put a name and contain at least 1 letter. No letter, no saving the game. Oh, and well, let's try to be a bit more clever. Let's try to put 10 empty spaces to see if it gets everything. And hit enter. No. Because what? Putting blank spaces at first doesn't put anything into the string of the name that we want to save. So you have to put at least 1 letter. Now, if you click the active button, in this case left control, on any of the letters, you'll get that exact letter reading above. So you can write something like, for example, and there you go, you have the file for your name. Now, let's go and insert it and create a new file. As you can see, the file is now in there and it's ready to be used. Now, yes, I know what you're going to say. He clicked in the middle one and now it's at the bottom one, because the readings in the array are kind of hard to arrange at first, and then again, as I said at the first, this might have some bugs for the demo, but it'll do for what I have for now. Now, if we try to be sneaky again and say, oh, I'm gonna create a game and call it exactly the same as that file that's already been created, it should display here a message that the file already exists. File name already taken, type another one. Because the file is already taken. Now if you use like, okay, let's erase a couple of characters. There you go. It creates the file because it doesn't exist in the folder that it puts it. Now, what happens if we choose the file that we just created? We have our options to resume our game, erase our game, or return. Return gets you back to the previous screen, as we can see. Now, let's go again into the file, Mauricio, and here we can see in the top left that it's grabbing the name of the file that we have chosen so that we can know that we are inside of that file. Now, if we choose to erase that value, it has two options, yes and no. If we hit no, we go back to our screen. But if we hit yes, it returns us to the main screen and our file no longer exists. Now, let's do it, the resume, with the other file that we created. There. It's a familiar site. By the way, I changed it a few things, as you can notice. I changed the color of the hearts, I changed the color of the magic, I changed the sounds for the letters in the text box, the continuation of the letters in the text box, and the movements that you have in the choices in the dialogue, which are the same in the menu that I showed you before. Now, let's grab something so that you can see that our entire system is still working. As you can see, the letters sound different, but because I found these other sounds. And let's see if we find some coin. Come on, coins. There we go. We have one coin. Now, as a developer tool, I've incorporated a button to restart my game, but all of this is being stored in that game file. Now, if I restart my game, we're back at the main menu. We can see we have our file now, and let's try to get in there. There we go. We have our coin and our heart still in there. Now, let's make sure that we are not only writing over one file and start a new file so that you can see that's going to start with everything from scratch. Let's create file abcd, enter, and let's go in it. There you go. We don't have the coin and only have 3 hearts. And the heart that we grabbed in the other file, we have it there, ready to be grabbed. I hope you really like this, and I hope you really enjoyed it. I've put a lot of work in the development of the menu. It's harder than I thought that it would be, but I managed to get it out in this way. There must be like thousands of ways, maybe easier than the one that I took, but the one that I took works out. And it used to be, if you saw the pictures that I posted of the menu, all green, but I noticed it and I was like, it's kind of bland. So let me give it a few of the color palettes that are included inside the game and see how it sees. And in my opinion, it looks better, but I'll leave that to you to tell me if you like it better before when everything was green, or if this gives it a bit more of life. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider, as always, subscribing, comment, liking, sharing. Your support means a lot to me, and I'm going to keep developing this. I'm really close to getting the demo out. I think that what I'm just missing are like the credits, for giving credits, of course, to every asset developer that's responsible for the assets that I'm doing, including visuals, sound effects, audio, and even the people that helped me with some lines of codes and scripts that I've used. And I'm considering maybe doing some tutorials of how I'm developing this in the future. That might be a long planned project, not for now. Maybe after I release the demo. As always, thank you. thank you very much for everything that you've done, everything of the support that you've shown on Twitter, on Facebook, on my subreddit, on YouTube, everywhere. Thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me and how much I appreciate your opinion and the love that you're showing to me. As always, take care.